did.
I can't find it either.
Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting of the Buxton Planning Board to order for Tuesday, October 28th. Second on the agenda is a Pledge of Allegiance.
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on the agenda is a public hearing for Gary's General Contracting, an application for a 7-lot subdivision, Berry Farm subdivision, 81 Berry Road, map 9, lot 23. Motion to open the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing for Gary's General Contracting. 7-lot subdivision, 81 Berry Road, map 9, lot 23.
Second.
A motion by Scott, second by Craig to open the public hearing. Discussion, all those in favor? 4 with 1 absent. Okay, can you briefly tell us what you're proposing to do?
I certainly will, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much. My name is Sean Frank. I'm a civil engineer with Sebago Technics out of South Portland. With me tonight are Dave and Jean Gray, Gray's Contracting Incorporated. The board's seen this project a number of times now since we've made the initial sketch plan, did the site walk, and obviously we've been revising the plan in coordination with the board as comments have come along. The basics basically is it's about a 37-acre parcel on the corner of Berry Road and Long Plains Road that the applicants have obtained from the Johnson family, located in the residential zone. The intention is to divide the property into 7 lots. One of them will be basically the existing farmhouse that's right on Berry Road. That'll be lot number 1. That's just about 2.8 acres. Lot number 2, which is a large lot, right on the corner of Berry Road and Long Plains Road. That's almost 9 acres in size, 8.9 to be precise. That has the old chicken barn on it. The applicant is looking to convert that barn at some point into some 55 and older apartments, but obviously this proposal is just for the subdivision of the property itself, understanding full well that, you know, anything we would do in association with that building for that type of use would have to come back to this board for a site plan and a conditional use permit. The remainder of the lots along Long Plains Road is going to be single-family house lots. Lots 3 and 4 are 2.785 acres in size. Again, for single-family homes with direct driveway access off of Long Plains Road. Lot 5 itself is 2.76 acres in size. In Lot 7, which is what the applicant is intending to build their home, is 11 acres in size and includes the farm pond to the back. That'll be accessed by a private way, Misty Way, lane as we're calling it. Which will be a gravel access coming off from Long Plains to access those 2 lots, both Lot 5 and Lot 7. Lot 6 is currently configured, is just over 4 acres in size. The intent of that was to allow for a potential duplex, perhaps, on that lot. Again, it may just wind up being single family, but at least to allow that we had the size in association with that. We did have mainly soils on site to identify the wetlands, the streams, to perform test pit logs that have been provided to the boards in association with for the subsurface sewage disposal systems. The draft HHE 200 forms have been provided showing potential designs for those systems. Again, from our standpoint, this is pretty much a 7-lot subdivision. It's a division of land to allow the development of the 7 lots and the construction of that 15-foot wide access road coming up to the farm pond. Right now, fire service is proposed via the existing hydrant that's on Berry Road, as well as a proposed one, which would be off from the proposed Misty Lane coming up and accessing the existing fire farm pond that's up through there. At the board's request, we did put in the permit by rule in association with the stream crossing for the driveway access to Lot 3. Hadn't heard back from them until this afternoon. They did ask for some additional information in terms of what exactly the applicant was going to do in the size of the culvert, as well as any potential setbacks from the pond. So we will address those through the DEP. If appropriate, we certainly would request conditional approval from the planning board in association with just finalizing any concerns related to the DEP. With that, Mr. Chairman, we understand this is the public hearing, and be certainly happy to answer any questions that the board or the public may have. And with that, I would conclude my presentation.
Okay, thank you. Greg, you have any questions for the applicant?
Not at this time, no.
Scott?
Just a couple. Thank you for the presentation, Sean. I think last meeting I had mentioned we should have a note on the plans just stating that the hammerhead should not allow for driveway access to the property or storage. It's in the town ordinance, but I think it would just be that much clearer if we had a note stating.
And I'd be happy to add that note, I really would. I remember talking more about the 60 feet last time. I didn't remember the specificity in terms of the driveway location. But again, certainly the applicant understands that, and there's no concern in terms of requiring that that does not occur.
Yep. In note 8, so you heard back today regarding the driveway crossing for lot 3?
Yes. They had a couple of items. Number one, they wanted to make sure that the culvert was adequately sized, and I will get them some additional information on that.
Size did you propose?
I proposed a 36-inch. It's a small channel that's associated with that. Right now, the farm pond basically has a 12-inch CMP culvert. That's the outfall that controls the flow from the pond. So certainly we were anticipating that that 36-inch would be more than satisfactory in terms of passing the 25-year storm event, which, but again, I will certainly get them some calculations in association with the sizing of that culvert.
And so will you have the approved culvert plan as part of the plan set, so the homeowner knows what?
Absolutely. And like I say, right now,
cost.
there is a plan in place, and that the worst-case scenario, I would say that the culvert may increase in size. I don't believe so. I think the culvert's more than satisfactory based upon, like I say, what's coming out of that pond,
Yeah.
which is the majority of the watershed going down to that little area.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that is it, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Heath?
No, I do not have any questions at this time. Thank you.
Okay. Scott answered most of mine. I'll let it open up to abutters. Any abutters like to speak? You're not allowed to talk.
I know. I'm act around. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Keith Emery. I don't see, the only issue I had when I first talked to Dave about it was the wetlands, and I see that's been taken care of real good. And I just asked him if he could kind of watch the road so that the headlights don't shine into my bedroom. But I'm high enough up, so I think they'll be all right. But I don't have an issue with this going through.
Okay.
And some of their materials and stuff may land in my yard to, like a stockyard or something, so that they can put things in as they need it. But other than that,
Okay,
let's build it.
thank you. Any other abutters who'd like to speak? Anybody from the Yep, go ahead. If you want, you could just talk loud from there. You don't have to go all the way up to the podium.
Yeah, well, I live right across from there.
Yep, and I know who you are, but can you state your name for the record, please? I know exactly.
Olive Colony.
Yep, okay.
Yeah.
Hello, Olive.
Okay. And, I'm gonna be 90 in March.
I know you are.
I've been there since 56.
Yes.
And my husband was there in the 40s, because he owned the farm.
Yep,
And I worked, and my husband built the barn, the new barn.
Yep.
And I worked when they had chickens there, I worked there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sort of, yeah, I just think of the family.
Okay.
And I went over there and looked at the house, they've changed that all over, but it's nice.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna open up on the Pease Road.
Some access is from the Pease Road, a lot of access is from Long Plains Road.
They'll be coming on our road more, the Dairy Road.
Majority of the access is from Long Plains Road.
All accesses.
Yep. Except for the proposed,
My hill, I have a hill, and the cars, you have to get almost to my driveway for you to see if anyone's coming up the hill. I wonder if they'll have any signs on the road.
you have to talk to the road commissioner or the public works director about that,
Okay,
okay?
yeah.
Anything else you'd like to reminisce about?
Oh, I was wondering the other night, signs for the deer go right through my dooryard every night.
Okay,
Down over the hill, they go across there.
Yep.
And the turkeys do. So, somebody put a sign up for the turtles.
okay,
Turtles go across there.
yep,
Yeah.
okay, that would be,
I gotta get someone to put signs up, I guess.
that would be another request to the public works director.
Yeah. But all the neighbors are good there now, I'm sure the neighbors are gonna be good.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
well, maybe you can reminisce with some of your memories with some of the new people that are buying the houses,
Okay,
okay?
I'll be all right.
All right, thank you. Anybody else in the general public like to make some comments about the application? Okay, seeing none? Does code enforcement have any input
Nope,
or comments on the application?
none.
None, okay.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Okay, I have a motion by Scott to close the public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Craig to close the public hearing. Discussion, all those in favor? Before, with one absent. Okay. Is the board ready to move on to conditions of approval at this time?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay? I will read the basic conditions of approval for subdivisions. Does the board have any additional conditions other than the 5 normal conditions?
Well, completion of the,
Completion of the
Environmental
completion of the DE pre-approval for access to Lot 3. And then you did put on the plan that either Lot 6 is going to be sprinkled or serviced by the fire pond, correct?
I did. I said either we'd have a hydrant at if it could be certified, or those units would be sprinkled within 1,000
Okay,
feet.
and I didn't see, is there paperwork for an easement for Misty Lane for the town of Buxton?
I called it out as the 50-foot right-of-way and an easement to the town of Buxton on the plan.
Okay, and that'll be on the deed?
Yes, it will.
Okay. Other than that, that would be my only condition is the DE approval for the driveway for Lot 3.
well, I think they had, because it looked like they had, just looking at this email. Were there other questions that they had?
And again, unfortunately, you can see the time on that. I was thinking it was like 4:30, so I didn't.
Yeah.
And you notice there's not a phone number on there either. And Patty actually said she has the phone number, so she'll give it to me. So I will talk to her. But obviously, if we can make it a condition in terms of addressing the concerns of the DEP as outlined in that email, we're certainly comfortable with that, if that's comfortable with the board.
Do we want to make a condition of approval that no work be done on Lot 3 until this issue's been resolved? Because you don't need a building permit to build the driveway.
No, I just, it looked like they had, because they, this email from the DEP, additionally, can you discuss the extent of the development proposed for the project in its entirety? So I'm just wondering, is there something else that they're kind of concerned with? So I guess I didn't want to just make that condition to Lot 3 only.
Okay, do you want to
So
amend that
so-
condition to apply to all the lots?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'll read the standard elements for approval for subdivisions.
Jerry, can I
Yes.
list out the conditions that I gathered from previous meetings?
Yes.
Proposed fire pond hydrant shall meet and be certified to NFPA 1142. If the hydrant doesn't pass certification, the homes shall be sprinkled. Did I understand that right?
That's exactly right, Betty, yep.
There shall be an easement to the town for access and maintenance of the fire pond. Driveways that cross wetlands or streams may require permit by rule from DEP and permit from Army Corps of Engineers. We maybe word that differently, but homeowners association agreement will be required for the private drive access to lots 5 and 7 prior to issuance of building permits. The private drive will remain private and will not be maintained by the town, because I think you guys discussed that at the last
Yes.
meeting. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that,
No issues here. Now, those conditions, they'll actually get written on the subdivision plan, is that what we're
I think
talking about?
yes, some of them are, but
Okay,
let's get all of them on there.
It'll be in the findings so that people can see it.
that's fine, Pat.
Because a
No,
lot
we'll
of
get them on
times
the
we
plan.
don't do
Appreciate
that
it.
and it gets confusing.
And back to the conditions in terms of DEP, was that just in terms of building permits? And the only reason I'm asking that is obviously he's looking at being able to sell the existing farmhouse out there, and I don't see any reason why
My
that
issue
can
is somebody could buy the lot and build the driveway not knowing what they're doing, and they don't need a building permit.
Understood, okay, but, so
Whereas
building
if
permit.
they-
Oh,
I mean, you don't need a building permit to build the driveway, correct, on a lot, do you?
You need a driveway entrance permit from the town.
Is that something that you would see first, or just Public Works?
I see it first,
Okay, so you wouldn't issue a permit until this would be...
until we know, right.
Okay, okay. So
yeah,
that
if
would
you're
be the
good,
check and
I
balance
appreciate
there.
that. No,
Yep.
thank you.
Yep. Okay, are we all set? I'll move on to approve, conditions of approval. All elements and features of the plan and all representations made by the applicant concerning the development and use of the property which appear in the record of the planning board proceedings are conditions of approval. No changes from the conditions of approval is permitted unless an amended plan is first submitted to and approved by the planning board. 2, that the applicant be in compliance with all applicable provisions of Article 13. Number 3, notify fire chief within 72 hours before a fire tank is installed. Number 4, all outstanding bills paid before a building permit is issued. And number 5 would be any others, and I would include the list that Patty has provided us. Okay, based on the previous discussions, we find the application to be in compliance with all applicable provisions of Article 13. Have a motion.
Mr. Chairman, can I first, on that number 7, the wetlands, because it said driveways that cross wetlands or streams may require, perhaps there should be wetlands or streams shall meet permit by rule from DEP and permit from Army Corps Engineers if required.
Okay. Did you follow that?
Yep.
Okay, I made the motion based on previous discussions. We find the application to be in compliance with all applicable provisions of Article 13. Do I have a second?
A second.
Discussion. All those in favor? Before, yes, and 1 absent. Okay,
All set?
yeah, I think you're all set for now. You understand what the other conditions we're asking for.
We do, Mr.
Okay,
Chairman. Again, we
yep.
appreciate the board working with us on that, we truly
Yep.
do. And I'm sure Patty will get me that information, and we'll get it taken care of.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we
Next
vote
up.
on the findings?
Right now?
Yes,
Are you ready
please.
to do that?
It's already-
Or do you want to amend them?
Oh,
If we vote on them, I can amend them and you can sign them.
Okay.
So that we don't have to wait till because we're
The
supposed
board want
to,
to vote on the findings,
I'm okay with that.
okay? Somebody make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept the findings of facts for Gray's General Contracting, application for 7-lot subdivision, Berry Farm Road division, subdivision, map 9, lot 23.
I second the motion.
Motion by Scott, second by Keith, to find the findings of fact for Jerry's General Contracting, an application for a 7-lot subdivision, tax map 9, lot 23. Discussion, all those in favor? Before. Okay, next item on the agenda is a public hearing for Marie Chinchilla for a conditional use for material storage, 207 landscaping tree service on Commerce Drive, map 9, lot 27-1. Yep, please. Okay, can you briefly tell us what you're planning on doing?
Yep, my name's Maria Chinchilla. I am the business manager at 207 Landscaping. We are looking to store materials on Lot 4 on Commerce Drive. So we're looking at firewood, mulch, loam, and landscaping materials and existing bins.
Okay. Questions from the board? Heath?
Oh, is this going to be a public hearing?
Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, yes, it is. Want to make a motion on public hearing?
Well, I just heard more than what the public hearing is for, so can we have a public hearing is just for the original application? Would that be correct? Storage of materials
Well,
only?
Let's open the public hearing and then we can discuss whether we want to continue it, but I think we're going to deal with just storage for now, not the additional application for
Okay.
firewood process.
I'll make a motion, to open the public hearing.
If that's how the board wants to proceed.
Yes,
Fine.
we haven't seen the other application
No.
yet.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have a motion to open the public hearing by Scott? Do I have a second?
Second,
Second by Craig. Discussion? All those in favor? Before with one absent. Okay. Heath, questions for the applicant?
Actually, no, I mean, I took a walk out there, everything looked fine to me. No, not questions at all.
Okay. Scott?
Hi, I wasn't here at the last meeting, obviously. Can you perhaps enlighten me a little bit more of what the application, what you're intending to do?
Long-term, we're planning on building. We will be building up towards the front of the lot. We'll have office building and a garage there as well. That's a couple of years out probably. Right now, what we'd like to do is move most of our materials into the bins that are there, the landscaper bins, and do just storage there, no customers on site, very low traffic. Our guys would be in and out maybe 3-4 times a day.
Yeah. I know this was mentioned last meeting, I'll just elaborate a little bit more. I mean, you kind of put us all in a difficult place by proceeding as much as you had without coming to the town for permission for use. I know you've stated over and over you'd like to do things, if it's not what we want, you'll redo it. I'm glad your business is that successful that and don't take this the wrong way, we're here to help you, and by working together, we'd like to see you be successful at this project. I really do. You're the first project coming into this business park and really want to make you successful. I'm glad to hear you said your building's gonna go in the front. It does go in the front corner where your driveway would be, so that driveway would probably have to be possibly relocated. I mean, it's your own business decision, so I'm just, I just want to say that, and we're not here to make it difficult for you. So some of these questions I think you're going to hear tonight from me, it's going to sound maybe kind of ridiculous because it's already happened, but it's what an applicant should be going through in order to have an application, okay? So will you be processing material on site?
I believe we made plans to make an amendment. We'd be processing only firewood there at this time.
So you-
That's not part of this application.
So you would be processing.
Yeah,
Will customers be on site at
No
all?
customer
The only
access.
people that will be on site will be your
207
employees.
employees, yeah.
So we should have a site plan showing what you are building. I know in your application you had this drawing here,
Yep,
hand-drawn, penciled in. I don't even think it's to scale. Then we got a map of the subdivision showing your lot. It's 11 by 17. I'm not 20 anymore. I can't really read some of the dimensions on it.
okay,
So you had on your map that you provided 40 feet from the end of your 100 by 100 dirt lot, as you called it, from the edge of the property line, or the edge of 202, which, may I ask, which is that showing? Is it 40 feet from the property line or Route 202?
it would be from the property line.
Have you had that surveyed?
Yes, I sent that in via email, the survey, last week.
Did you have it? All right.
It was
When I did my sidewalk, I had it 40 feet from the edge of 202.
from the edge of 202.
So you're cleared right up to the edge of your property line, which is, I mean, you can do that,
Okay,
but it's not, what I'm getting at, it's just not representative of what you're showing, and which makes it difficult to review. That makes sense.
okay.
It should be in a scale that's 1 inch per 100, that's what we require. That's in the plans, that's what we require of everybody. This was 1 inch per 100, but it's scaled way down, that it's
Okay.
difficult to see. Erosion sedimentation plan, did you submit an erosion sedimentation plan?
We have, that was asked for us from codes last week. So we do have, the person who put the driveway in is certified, so he's gonna write up the plan for us.
So
we can
you'll,
submit it.
you'll be providing a plan?
Yep,
And was that Walter Harmon?
yep.
Okay, yeah, he is certified. Landscaping, I know you had landscaping, ordinance requires storage bins, storage things, piles, things like that to be some type of visual, whether it's a fence or landscaping. I know you had in there, there's trees, but that's on the DOT property.
Okay, so
My opinion, you should have something on your property that can't be removed by
We'd
the
need another row.
DOT later on,
okay.
okay? Again, that's just my opinion. Do you know how much land was disturbed on your project?
Not off the top of my head.
I just want to make a correction on your plot here. You had your dirt plot as being 100 by 100. It's actually 100 by 170 to the front of your storage bins. Plus you have your storage bins. I have you over 42,000 square feet of disturbed soil on that property.
Okay,
It's over an acre.
beyond the pad?
Yep.
Okay,
Well, your pad, I had 17,000, your bins, there's another 1,400, behind the bin is 600. The area from the pad to the edge of the property, which was all disturbed, not mulched, not seeded, still bare ground, that was 2,500 square feet. The corner and the ledge, that's 11,700 square feet, still sitting there bare, and then your driveway's another 8,000, and it's the little of a pad area on the right. As you go in, it's around 2,000 square feet. So, I believe anything over acres at DP. You should verify it. I mean,
Okay,
honestly, I think you just need a little bit of help to get this through.
okay,
And I think you really should just think about how you want to develop this site, so you just do it once.
okay.
But, that's, so you are going to do some processing. I know you had in your answer, there's no wetlands or stream crossings, but on the map that you provided us shows a wetland spot right in the middle of it.
Okay,
Some of your questions that you had were a little misconfusing, whether you used mulch or you didn't use mulch. In the back behind the bins, you did use mulch, but at the end of your pad, it's like 15 to 20 feet of just loam with some grass. It looked like maybe you just pushed the material for that pad away, and it's just bare ground. Come November 1st, any mulch that you have needs to be double mulched for winter conditions. And the other thing is the erosion control. It looked like bark mulch. That typically should be stump grindings
okay,
for a DEP approved plan, so I guess you should probably check with Walter as
yeah,
what,
okay,
but that looked like bark mulch to me. Driveways, unless we waive it, paved.
it's not paved,
So you would have to put a request in for it
or pave it,
to
Or waiver.
to not be paved.
yeah,
A
okay,
waiver not to pave it.
Yeah, so what I was talking about setbacks, that was 10.10.A. Take a look at that. That talks about what needs to have screening, which I feel you'll need for that. You sent an email saying what you're storing, right?
yes,
Oh, here it is. So you have 8 bins, 3 bins would be firewood, 2 bins, wood chips,
yep,
and then 3 bins would be loam or mulch. So you'll just have, there'll be no power.
no,
I don't think this is their issue, but the development currently has no stop sign or stop bar. That should be something we should be talking to the
I'll call the owner.
owners of that should be up now. I mean, it's kind of a public safety issue.
Has that road been accepted by the town?
No,
No.
No. So I think those are some of the things that I'm looking for, Mr. Chairman,
Okay,
that's it for now.
thank you. Craig?
Scott got what I saw,
Okay.
so I'm good for right now.
Okay. Keith?
All set?
Okay. The only thing I would caution you on the application is that these items that you're gonna store in the bins is what's gonna go in the bins. You can't
right,
change those items.
Right.
You can't swap out road salt,
yep,
coal patch, whatever.
Right.
You're aware of that, okay? Is there gonna be any additional storage of material on the ground other than the bins?
Not, no.
No. Okay. All right.
Are you gonna be processing loam on site other than that one stockpile that you have on there now?
No.
Does staff, town staff have any questions or comments at the moment?
No.
I'll leave it up to comments from abutters. Comments from the general public. Okay. Seeing none, how does the board want to proceed? I think we should probably continue the public hearing until we have additional information.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yep.
Can I have a motion for that, please?
Make a motion to continue the public hearing for 207 Landscape, tax map 9, lot 27-1-4.
Second?
I have a motion by Craig and a second by Scott to continue the public hearing.
Yes.
All those in favor? Will be 4 with 1 absent. Okay, so when we get that additional information, we'll reopen the public hearing and then go from there. Okay?
Are you clear what we need?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is Don Smith doing business, it's OBO and Dustin Hunt, an application for conditional use for a business office, 22 Ripple Lane, map 3, lot 1-1A-1. Good evening.
Good evening. Don Smith with Bruby Equipment.
Yep.
Dustin Hunter with Blue Ladder Construction.
Okay.
Brian Ruby.
Can you just briefly give us a synopsis of what you're planning on doing?
Yes, I'm proposing to just use the facility for basically some storage for my construction business. We have some trailers, some lifts, and different types of construction equipment that we periodically store on site. Most of the time, we have our equipment on sites at construction sites, but occasionally we do need places to store some of the equipment. So that's what we're proposing to do, is kind of use it as an overflow for materials and construction equipment.
Okay. Questions from the board? Keith?
Yeah, so you said something about storage of aerial lifts?
Like a scissor lift.
Like
yes.
scissor lift?
Yeah.
So are you guys gonna be doing any mechanical work on these, or are these gonna be all,
No, I have a mechanic that we bring our stuff to. None of it, we deal with wood, not mechanics.
okay?
And you own this equipment, correct?
What's that, sir?
You own the equipment,
We
correct?
do own the equipment, yes.
Okay. Keith, anything else?
No, thank you.
Okay, Scott?
You might have said this, I'm sorry if I missed it, Dustin. What kind of business are you? Is it?
Construction, so we do new home construction, additions, and decks, windows, siding, anything construction,
Okay.
really.
It's more on the wood-related side of construction.
More than just framing, for sure.
Would you say residential?
Residential only, yes.
You don't do any commercial?
We don't do commercial, no.
Okay.
And so it looked like from the application, your workers go to the site, they aren't going there. This is just for
Yeah,
place to
100%.
store.
Most of, all the 2 employees that I do have will meet at site. Plus, we have subcontractors that we work with, which are obviously have their own spaces and places. So, we have a shop right now in Arundel. I think within the last 3 months, we've been there 3 times. So it's literally a place that we may periodically stop in to drop off some sheets of plywood that we may pick up 4 weeks later for a different job, or some, we're rarely there.
Yeah. So you'll be predominantly outside, predominantly inside?
Predominantly at site, and our employees always arrive and leave.
No, I'm sorry, the use of this facility, you'll be storing predominantly in those two garage bays or outside?
Yeah, we'll be storing, obviously the trailers and the lifts and things will be stored outside in the parking area, but the materials like doors, windows, things like that would be stored inside the garage.
Okay. The only thing I've just reading through is section 10.17.E5 and 6. I don't know if this applies or not, but it basically is when a new unit of occupancy is created. So I guess I'd have to ask the owner, was there just one business in that building before, or were there?
Are you in a question of the rapid entry system? Is that what you're talking about?
No, it just states that when you have a new unit of occupancy created in an existing building, then,
There was only one tenant before, as you know, it was me,
yeah,
the equipment repair business, and we expanded the equipment repair business. So it was all occupied by one person,
got you.
yes.
So this will be a second
We split-
unit in,
We split the old edition and the new edition in half.
okay.
And just
That's
separated.
something I guess the the fire chief is gonna have to review. It is now,
He signed off it.
if he has concerns with,
Yep, I think we sent them this application.
No outside requirements, if I'm reading his writing correctly. Inside needs to meet NFPA requirements, and it currently does.
okay.
So that was his
Oh,
comment.
I missed that. Okay.
You see
well,
that?
I see that now.
We went through everything with the addition, doing the lighted emergency exit signs, everything.
Yep.
We went through with that.
Okay.
That'd be it, I guess.
All right, are we gonna talk about the stormwater?
Yes.
Yes. So we need to resolve that situation. Have you addressed that in your application?
We have, yes. And I can just give you a
You
brief,
just give us a brief
yeah.
overview of that, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So after our meeting, after we came before you last summer with the landscaping company, your concerns were noted, and Mr. Jason Chavitz's concerns were noted about water flowing into the back of the property and onto his property. So I contacted the DEP, first Erica Wood, and laid out the whole situation with her, the whole history of the property, sent her photographs, and we went through everything. She brought in an engineer, Cody Abrupta, from the DEP, and I fully expected him to have us do a stormwater plan, which we were fine, and he reviewed the property, he reviewed all the photographs. His office is up in Bangor. I was asking him for a site visit. Patty was copied on all of these emails as well, and he did not feel it was necessary, and he sent us, with Patty copied as well, the email that I copied there. After reviewing everything, he felt that we needed to create a low collection area in the eastern rear portion of the property, just to allow the stormwater a place to go and collect, to slow down any drainage over to Mr. Chavis's property behind. And he felt that would be sufficient, as you can see by the email. So we have put all of this into motion, and it's going to be done here over the next 30 days. We're going to bring an excavator in and just carve out a low area in that back corner. And I drew it on a little map you should have in your application. I tried to show it as best I could. So we're going to carve out a low area, and we're going to create a wall along the back of the property with some of the fill that we have. And we're going to continue that all along the back of the property with a little drainage channel that'll lead into this one collection area. And our plans in the spring are to plant some additional plants there in the back of the property. There'll be shrubs and trees, just to help, at Cody's recommendation, to help soak up, any of that extra water that may be coming down the property in that direction. But it was his opinion that that should solve the problem, and he wanted us to do it in conjunction with Patty and deal with it as a civil issue, which we're totally fine with. And so that's where we are now.
Okay. That's going to be done when?
It's going to be done this month, in the next 30 days. It's only going to take us about a day and a half to do it. You might want to talk about that if they want more details, but it should only take us about a day and a half to do it. It's going to be a very simple project. And then we will finish up in the spring with the planting of, it's a little bit late now to plant, but we'll do all the planting of the shrubs and everything in the springtime, and that should resolve the issue.
Who's, not that you're not going to do it correctly, but who's going to verify that it's been done?
Patty. In the communications between the DEP, myself and the DEP and Patty, all three of us were on all of the communications. His preference was that we work with Buxton Code Enforcement to get it done and to get it finished and to treat it that way. So we'll be looking for Patty's approval.
Okay. Patty, are you confident to be able to do that, or would you like some outside agency to verify that?
If I feel not confident on site, I would
Okay.
ask for outside resource, but, which I have no problem doing, and I don't think
Okay.
anybody else would. We did condition the last one that they work with me. I think we gave them 6 months to, so I think it goes along with what we did last time also.
Okay. The other item I had from code enforcement is the above-ground fuel storage tank.
Yep.
Is that going to be removed?
Yes.
Okay.
They're picking it up. They're picking up the oil within the next 2 weeks,
Okay.
as of last Thursday. And as soon as they get that oil out of there, we're going to pick it up and move it right out. It'll be gone within 24 hours of getting the oil out.
Okay.
So it's going to happen very quickly.
Okay. And you can, Patty, you can verify that once it's done? Briefly, can I get back to the applicant?
Yes.
So basically, you're just using this for storage. You're, like you said, your workers meet you at the job site?
Correct, yes.
And then you might go there to get a box of nails or screws or something or whatever?
100%, yeah, we might have to go grab the lift and bring
Yeah.
it to the job site. That's one thing that we don't necessarily keep at a place, but
Are you good?
we'll keep the lift usually on the site at the shop, and we might have to run over there
Yeah.
once in a great while to grab
Are
it.
you gonna store staging, pump jacks? staging
Nothing,
planks?
nothing massive, but we do have pump staging, planks, ladders, those types of things. So that, we're gonna make some racks and kind of stuff it all in the garage, nice and neat out of the weather.
I mean, to take care of your tools, it's always better if they're inside than sitting out in the rain getting rusted.
You got it.
Okay. And that's all I have for now. Craig?
Hours of operation that you plan on going in and out, maybe?
How often?
No, hours of operation, like.
Yeah, about
And I know it's
7.
gonna be really infrequent.
It's gonna be infrequent, but yeah, we work 7 to 6, 5 or 6, depending on the daylight and what's going on, but, not that we would ever be there at that time.
Right.
We would the guys would leave their house, they leave their house and they clock in on an app, so I know where they are and what they're doing. So they may leave their house at 7, hey, shoot up to the shop, grab the lift. They may be there a little before 8 or something like that, so.
Okay.
I mean, it's very infrequent, very quick, in and out type of thing. No one's gonna be there hanging out for 8 hours, making all kinds of noise and, doing anything of substance, so.
Okay. I think I'm good for right now.
Okay. Do we want to have him limited to specific hours of access, or are we okay with just general access?
Sounds like it's just very light.
I'm okay with general whatever. Doesn't sound like I'm gonna be there a lot.
No. Yeah, I think that's all right.
The only thing I would caution you is it's a residential area.
Yes, I'm very mindful of that. I understand the previous.
Sundays
situation.
might be
Yeah.
very quiet.
Yeah,
Okay.
very quiet. I don't, all of the trucks that we use to tow these machines aren't loud. They don't have backup horns and noise, so it'll be very quiet in and out.
Any other? All right, we've been there twice already. Do we want to do another sidewalk?
No,
Are you
I
all
don't think
set
we
with-
need to do another sidewalk either.
Okay.
Do you want to see the drainage area
I
at all?
would rely on Patty to
Yep.
deal with that and then provide us with information that's been done
Right, 'cause
correctly.
we just did a site walk 3-4 months ago,
Yeah,
so I don't think it's needed
and
either.
that's the second time we've been to the property.
Yeah.
We're also open to any conditions of approval, if it's 6 months to do whatever,
Okay.
whatever you guys need from us.
Yep,
Recheck in, we're open to do anything.
okay. Does the board need any additional information from the applicant?
I don't think so.
I'll make a motion for public hearing if we're all set for that.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll make a motion for public hearing for Don Smith, OBO, Dustin Hunt, for application conditional use, map 3, lot 1-1A-1 for November 12th. It's a Tuesday at 7 PM.
Okay, remember, November 11th is Veterans Day, so we'll move our meeting to Tuesday at 7 o'clock, because Town Hall's closed on Monday. Okay? So don't come here Monday. Okay, do I have a second? A motion by Scott, and a second by Craig to set a public hearing? Discussion, all those in favor? Before with one absent. Okay, we'll see you on the 12th. You don't think that's work is gonna be done before the 12th, do you?
We know that the oil won't be out of there before, will it?
The oil will be gone by then. That'll be,
We very well could have it all done. Would you like pictures for the next meeting and
About the oil, yes. I don't know about the erosion control plan. If you can get pictures of both
yeah,
and get her to look at it, that would be wonderful. Otherwise, we're gonna make it a condition of approval
right,
that it gets done.
sounds good. We will do our best to get it done by then.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is Andrew Morrow for BH2M, discussion of a site walk for an application for a 9-lot subdivision. I don't have the tax map and number in front of me. Good evening.
Good evening, Andy Morrow, BH2M. The applicant, Bill Ham, is also here this evening. As the board knows, we were last here on October 15th. Since then, we've submitted homeowners association documents to the board and our DEP permitting. As the chairman mentioned, we did have a site walk. There were a couple things that came up. It was recommended that we reach out to Standish. As the board knows, a portion of this parcel is in Standish. Per state law, we are required to hold joint meetings with the Standish Planning Board. Patty and myself reached out to the town of Standish. Patty sent them copies of the plans and all pertinent information, and the town is, it sounds like Standish is not interested in taking a look at the project as nothing's proposed in Standish. So that item, I think, has been kind of taken care of. The applicant is going to work with Patty on the performance guarantee process. I know the applicant's got a estimate from, I believe, Gorham Sand and Gravel that he will be presenting to Patty for her to review and get that process started. There was discussion at the site walk also about an aquifer, whether this parcel is in an aquifer, and I can confirm it is in the aquifer. The application we submitted to you guys, I can't believe this date, but we submitted it on November 30th of last year. When we submitted that application to you guys, it has a map of the aquifer in it for the board to review. So with that, Mr. Chairman, we were hopeful we could be considered for a public hearing at a future meeting. With that, I'll throw it back to you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Keith, we met last Saturday at 9 o'clock. I'll just give a brief overview of the sidewalk. Everybody from the board was there except for Scott, who went the Wednesday before by himself. We met at the end of off Old Standish Road, and we walked, which Mr. Ham did the center line of Carefree Lane all the way back to the end of Lot 6 and Lot 5. We noticed a few lower spots or patches shown on the plan where there are wetlands that the applicant has gotten approval from DEP and the Army Corps of Engineers to fill by permit by rule. We located where the cisterns are going to be, and then we walked back, kind of back around the back south east side of the property back to Old Standish Road. Keith, do you have any comments on the sidewalk?
Comments? Everything seemed fine. It seems like he's got everything ready to go. The wetlands are exactly where they were marked on the drawing. And now he's got the DEP paperwork right here. I think everything looks great.
Okay. Scott?
Yeah, I had a nice adventure on my own Wednesday. Thank you for the KMZ file.
I'm glad that worked out.
It was off a little bit.
Can you explain that to what people don't understand what that is?
So the KMZ file is a file, I'm essentially just converting their survey plan to another file so that it can be uploaded, downloaded onto Google Maps.
So you could sit there with your phone on Google
On the
Maps
phone, I
and
could
plot.
track exactly where I'm
Okay.
at, so it had the property lines on it.
So if our survey was on Main State coordinates, I could have just dropped it in there and it would have been right on. I had to rotate our file because our
Okay.
file is not on Main State coordinates, so that's probably why it was off a little
Rotated
bit.
a little too much.
Yeah, probably.
It was fine till I got up around, I don't know, was it 14, station 14, I kind of, but I did find my way back to the center line.
All right, good. The center line was staked out when you were out there. I couldn't remember if it was
And thank you for
Wednesday or
using
Thursday
lime.
that we did that.
Yeah, thank you for not using red or orange flagging. Otherwise, I would not have found them.
Right.
I did find one woodcock that was almost stepped on. About the only wildlife I saw. It all looked well to me. It definitely gets rocky up lot 7, 6, and 5. I expect they'll probably be doing some blasting to put some drives in on the other side. Lot 4 will be kind of tough. I mean, there's not a whole lot of room probably to put a driveway in between the property line and the base of that hammerhead ledge knoll.
Shown on there.
Yeah, no, it is, but it's just commenting. The cisterns,
Yes,
so your plan showed concrete ones, or is that what you plan on using?
yes.
And how deep do those go?
We spec'd them out exactly with the detail the fire chief gave us. I think they're 4.5 feet deep, I believe. The last, I actually took his details and put them right on our plan. I think it's on the last sheet of the plans.
Yeah, kind of,
There's actually a schematic of them. I think they're 4.5 feet deep, if I recall correctly.
yeah, I just couldn't read.
I know they're 5,000 gallons
Yeah.
each.
Okay, yeah, 5 feet of cover. Do you know if that's ledge there?
We
I feel it probably will be, but.
We kind of stopped there and looked. It's kind of one of those knolls. When we were there, when we were on the site walk, we kind of stopped at that area and looked at it. I didn't see any protruding ledge out of the surface, but I certainly wouldn't be shocked if we found some once we started excavating.
Okay. No, I guess my comment on the plans would be pull off for gang mailbox.
You would prefer a gang mailbox?
I think that's
think
probably
the
what the
Postal Service
police,
is gonna
I
make
think
you
that's
do
the
that.
postal wants.
I think the post office requires that now. They won't allow any new, from what they told me, any new private roads or to have mailboxes at the driveways. They want gang box.
Yep. Now, do we have questions to this? Or are those still forthcoming?
What?
The questions for subdivision section?
I was gonna ask, Andrew, could you provide us the answers to it's been a year?
Yeah.
I spent about 15 minutes at my house down in the basement trying to find it, and it got recycled.
Yep.
So if you
I know we revised them a couple times when we were kind of early in the process, when you
Right.
guys were looking at those pretty detailed, but I'd be happy to,
could you provide us and code enforcement with copies of the entire application?
sure.
Like I said, I looked for it, it's been a year. Unfortunately, some of this paperwork I don't keep forever. I'm sure you have copies, but I don't. Do you, Scott?
No.
Do you have yours?
I don't have that much room.
No. And then that way, we could make sure that all sections of the subdivision ordinance have been answered by you.
Yep. I think it's like 27 pages long, Patty, so I assume you want me to print out some hard copies of that?
Sorry.
How many copies would you like?
6.
6?
6?
I will bring those over tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
No problem at all.
Any other comments, Scott? No. Craig?
No, I thought the site walk went well. I'm impressed with the plans. They've got all their permits ready to go. Other than looking at section 13, I'm good.
Okay.
But I suspect that everything will be just fine.
Okay. Okay. Does the board feel we have sufficient information to set a public hearing?
I do.
Okay, you want to make a motion to do that?
Make a motion to set a public hearing for November 12th, 2024, for Bill Ham's application for 9-lot subdivision on Old Standish Road.
Do you have a second?
I second that.
I have a motion by Craig, a second by Heath to set a public hearing for Bill Ham for a non-lot subdivision at Bucks Estate located off Old Standish Road. I don't have the tax map and number, but I'm sure it's somewhere here.
Yeah, I don't have it either on mine.
Tax map 1, lots 132-1, 131, map 2, lot 4. Discussion. All those in favor? There'll be 4 with 1 absent. Okay, we'll see you on Tuesday,
Tuesday, November 12th. See you then. Thank you.
November 12th. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is CEO report.
I had passed out an email with questions of the board, zoning ordinance questions, which I did not respond to. If the board wants me to try to respond, or,
Can we do that in other business?
yep,
You want to do that then? We can do that. Other than that, do you have any other reports?
no.
Okay. Approval of minutes for October 15th. I went through them, I didn't have any issues.
Same. I read through them, I didn't have any issues.
Thought they looked all right. Make a motion to approve the minutes for October 15th, 2024 as written.
Second.
I have a motion by Craig, second by Heath to accept the minutes for October 15th. Discussion? All those in favor? Before, 1 absent.
Ethan, I had the bill here somewhere.
Approval of bills.
We have, I'll make a motion to approve payment of $64.84 to Pull and Press Herald for the 2 public hearings that we had this evening.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? 4 with 1 absent. Communications. I don't have anything in my file.
Other than that email.
Okay, yep. And then we'll move on to other business. We had an email from a resident asking about some zoning questions. And Patty basically went through and answered those questions, has provided a copy to the person that asked the questions.
No, I didn't.
You haven't?
No. That's what I just said.
Oh, well,
I was looking for direction from the board.
does the board feel confident in allowing Patty to provide?
I haven't read the,
You haven't read it? It's on the back of it's on the back of this. You just provided it to me.
It was in the packet.
oh, mine.
Did you see it, Heath?
I believe, yeah, this is it right here.
Yes.
You have it, Scott, you just don't know you have it.
Greg, did you see it?
I gave you a second, that one I gave you tonight. You have another one with a flip side.
It's on both sides. Does the board,
His doesn't have it on the back.
the board okay with Patty giving this to the person that asked and answered the questions? I don't have an issue.
I don't have an issue with that.
Nope. Keith?
Nope, no issues.
Did you see it now? You saw the questions initially, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yes.
I did. I just didn't read the response.
Yep. Okay. When we have, do we need a motion? Do you want us to make a motion to do that?
I don't,
I don't think we need to. I would appreciate that if people have questions for Patty, that they give her a reasonable amount of time to reply. This came in on Thursday, October 24th at 1 o'clock. Patty scrambled Friday and, Monday to get this done. There's some complicated questions on here, so I would ask in the future that if the public or residents have questions about zoning issues, building permits, code enforcement, that they give staff ample time to answer those questions. And thank you for doing that, Patty, I appreciate that.
you're welcome. Do we want to go over that one question that's been asked multiple times about more than one use on a property? Because
Yes.
I think that section that I found that I didn't see before answers that very well.
And that section is
9.8.
9.8.
And I think that I will ask when we do this next public hearing for that property, that we quote that section and say that it gives us the right to allow more than one use on a property.
Yep. Okay, I'm okay with that. Okay,
Which I will give,
Yeah, there's plenty of businesses around, buildings that have more than one use in them.
and I think that section clearly says we have the right to do that.
okay. 10 days may address the board. Anybody like to speak to the board tonight? Yep.
Jason Roginski from Buxton. I just have one quick question. Does a conditional use permit go with the property or with the applicant?
Goes with the property.
So might I suggest that we add hours of operation for the Blue Ladder, just in case he moves out and another construction company moves in, and maybe not be so cordial with time?
That's not a bad idea.
That's a good idea, yeah, we can do that.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, she'll give you a copy of what you requested. Is that okay? Anybody else like to speak to the board this evening? Okay, seeing none. Chair will entertain will adjourn at 8:10 PM.
Second?
Discussion, all those in favor? 4 with 1 absent. Good evening.